Well, on this episode of Penny's Hot Rods and Customs, I think we're going to give the old 55 Pontiac some love. After parking, or well, before I parked it last year, I kind of washed it and put a lot of lines in the old primer. As you can see, it doesn't look too pretty. And also too, sitting under here with sap and everything else. Bird poop, shouldn't have done that, but oh well. But anyway, so what I think I'm going to do is give it some love. We're going to shoot some more primer on it. My tachometer last year, it was doing funky things, so I think it's my box underneath there for the tack. I think I've got a new one here, so we'll take a look at it, see it, because when it's running, and it'll either idle at like 800 RPM or it idles at 7,000 RPM. So I don't think that's working right, so we're going to change that up. So what I'm going to do is fire it up and we'll go put it in the lane, and we'll start. I'm going to sand some of this crap off, and then we'll shoot some more primer on it. Hopefully I've got enough, but you guessed it, people, rattle can. So like I said, I think I painted this, I don't know, 5 years ago. Probably should put some air in that tire. Probably about 4 years ago, so it held up. So we'll go do that, and then we'll give this thing some TLC love, and then we'll do a little walk around. But also I do things like grease it and change the oil and whatnot. So we'll probably take it out this Sunday night, so it's time. Okay, so we're gonna fire this turd up. I'll show you what I mean if it does with the tack. Like I said, I haven't moved this thing since I brought it home about 4 weeks ago. So let's see. Fuel pump on. Oop. Oh, it's doing it. Working fine. Huh, alright. Of course it doesn't do it when you want it to do it. So, but I think we're still going to switch out the box anyway for it. So, I don't know how well I'm going to do this. Let's see. Yeah, at least it rolls good. Put it in first. And let's see. There. Alright, the reason I wanted it right here is I'm being in the shade. Good enough to sand this old turd. So yeah, so we'll fix all this. The roof I did paint like a grayish, so it's all the sap that's on it, so I'll see if I can clean that up. But yeah, that's my game plan. And then we'll do that, and then we'll talk about this turd while I do a few other things. Like I said, I should be working on the Pontiac or my Henry J, but you know, summer's here and I want to drive this turd. So like I said, those videos will be coming up, but hey, it just screams I want to be driven. So we'll be back. I'll go grab a sander and we'll start sanding some of this crap off. Okay guys, we're going to be doing this on the Super El Cheapo Ghetto backyard, well, this side yard paint job here, we're going to call it. But anyway, I spent about a half hour sanding it all down. I'll get a tack cloth, tack it up or whatever. Like I said, back in the day when I first got this car, I still have the original paint colors and the scheme how it's going to be painted, and I will go back to those colors one of these years, I promise. But for right now, like I said, it's just the primer. When I did have it in my garage, it was all down to bare metal, and I was starting to do some of the body work on it, attempting to. And then Derek wanted to do his Mustang, and I already had a couple cars on the road, so he needed something on the road, so we started doing his Mustang. So this thing just got a shot in primer, and I drove it pretty much the way you see it is now. And I apologize, can't win for trying here. Last week that neighbor, they cut their grass, tonight they're cutting their grass, so Chris, you'll have to turn it up a bit. So anyway, we'll just quickly start maxing some of this stuff off, and we'll shoot it in some primer. Okay guys, so I painted this side. That side's mostly done. I'm gonna let it, well, I let it sit for a little while anyway. Before I do, I'm gonna I'll start unmasking and whatnot, then we'll work on the back side. By no means this is not a professional job. Like I said, I did have plans of painting this car, and it will get painted one day, but I'll explain about that later on when I'm said and done. But for right now, gray primer, nothing finer. Hey, if Brian Edison can paint his Plymouth, or Dodge, before he got wrecked in hot rods, I can do the same thing. Okay, so this side's basically done. Looks not too bad. Not bad at all. Might have missed a spot there, so I'll take care of that in a bit. Front looks not too bad. Like I said, by no means, guys, not a quality paint job, just to cover it up. Painting over lies. I've done up to this side, so yeah, I still got that quarter to do. And the trunk. So we'll tackle that in a little bit. Obviously, I'm not going to film this, so. But next time you see it, I guess I got to take that off. Next time you see this, they will be all in gray primer again. So yeah, and a little tech tip. Garbage bags work good, so you don't destroy your rims. But yeah, if you look at the difference, between the new primer and the old faded, sanded, washed out primer. Yeah, it lasts, like I said, 4 or 5 years, so. Like I said, what really kills it, I think, a lot of time is when I leave them under trees and whatnot. I think the sap and everything and it just kills them. So yep. Next time you see this turd, it'll be all gray primer. Then we'll start figuring out the tack. Okay, so it's been the next day. I finished priming this old turd. By no means it's not professional, so don't criticize saying, hey, this and that and everything else. Like I said, it's better than what it was. Last year when I did wash it, I had a whole bunch of lines in it, and that paint did hold up for about 4 years or so. But like I said, 1 year it will get properly painted, the original flat red with the white roof and the red or the blue and white hood. So I've got pictures of all that stuff and whatnot. So 1 year it will get painted, I promise. But yeah, what we're gonna do next is I'm gonna go fix the tack, because like I said before, when you start it up, it sits at like 7 grand, 8 grand. So I'm thinking it's the sender. So I've got a new one of those, so we'll switch that out. But yeah, like I said, it's been parked here not long, but it's just the sap and everything else comes on these things. So we're gonna clean up these windows here right away. Like I said, we're going out cruising tomorrow night. So like I said, this was an old hot rod back in the day. As you can see, the 59 Pontiac tail lenses were modified and put in. Way nicer than the stock ones, in my opinion. That's just mine. But and like I said, the wheel wells were radiused. One thing that always bothers Derek, and I agree, that it doesn't quite sit right. So I do have a 12 bolt Chevy rear end with 410s or 411s and a posi. So I was going to put that in this year, but I don't think so. I'll wait till this thing ever grenades or blows up or whatever. But and then I was going to kind of center it, because it does kind of look kind of goofy, but that's the way she was. And the front end, I'm surprised nobody's really asked much about it. I did rebuild the whole front end because it got wrecked when they pulled the engine out of it back in the day. But the grill shell is from a 58 Ford. And it's just some conduit pipe. Then I just folded metal over. This is exactly the way it kind of looked like. And so yeah, I was able to get one from a good friend Donnie, the new grill shell, or the inserts for the grill or whatever. And I just kind of cut that, and it made it exactly the way it was. And then just a stock rolled bumper, nothing fancy. And I think that's where they had for a tow bar from back in the day. So pretty cool. And either you love it or you hate it. But this is just a piece of nostalgic from us. It was the old man's. I think it was from JC Whitney or something, but it's just a hood scoop that sat in my grandma's basement, so I figured, why not? I don't think whenever we repaint it that will go back on, but I do have a scoop that might go on, but who knows. But yeah, this is just it. So let's go dig out that sender. And actually, yeah, before I do, like I said, the steering column, or the steering wheel that came with it, and like the buckets, I believe are out of an Impella. I do believe, I could be wrong. But yeah. So yeah, that's all right. So anyway, let's go find that thing and let's go fix this tachometer, and then like I said, we'll go for a drive, and that's probably where we'll leave this video. Like I said, it's just summer's, you know, mid-June's already here, and like I said, I worked on this thing. It's ready for back to the 50s next week, or the week after that, I do believe. So just summer's gonna get away, so we got to get working on some of this stuff, because like I said, I like to drive this crap. So we'll be back, but let's go find that sender unit. Okay, so I dug up my little relic of a tack. Actually, it's a shame, it's an NOS Waco. Actually goes to about 8,000 RPM. It's kind of a shame that I'm going to rob this guy out, but it's the exact same tack, I do believe, that I have in the car, so this should work. So hopefully that's the problem. I feel bad robbing it, but you know what, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, so I got a bunch more of those tacks, so we'll take care of that and we'll see it. So, but like I said, I want to get that going. We're going to change the oil. Actually, I'll change the oil in a minute, and here, change the oil in a minute, and then we'll grease it and, you know, do over a few things. I actually put registration on it today, so no more storage insurance. So I guess we'll go, or I'll do that anyway. We'll switch that out and fix it, and then we'll go for a burn, and then we'll end this video. Like I said, sorry it's not very fun or exciting, but you know, like I said, I just want to start driving my cars and whatnot. Summer's half over, or not half over, but we're getting there. So like I said, it's all part of it. And actually, while I walk there and talk, I'll be back on the Pontiac tomorrow. My tie rod ends and all that stuff came in today, or yesterday at work. That was nice. Like I said, my poor coupe is just tarped up because it was actually pouring yesterday, so I should put that back in shed, but would like to drive it some more. Yeah, problem is, the guys, getting too many cars. You got to keep maintaining them and, you know, servicing them. You guys know what it's all about. The grandpa car's all dirty from getting caught in a rainstorm. But yeah, all my Rock Auto tie rod parts are here, so switch that out. So anyway, enough rambling. Well, I can't remember. Back to the 50s next week. So excited. It's been 4 years. So anyway, so like I said, I'll switch this out, change the fluids. I got oil and all that stuff. I'm going to jack it up and grease it and check the wheel bearings and grease all that goopity gup. So we'll be back, and then we'll go for a burn, and then we'll end this video. And then, like I said, tomorrow I'm going to be back on the 61 Pontiac. So exciting times, folks. Exciting times. Okay guys, show you the turd of an engine. So all that powers this old slug is just a 327. It's been bored 30 over. Camel hump heads. They've been heavily ported by a good friend who built the block way back in the day. All steel internals. Performs very well for what it is. I think it dynoed around 455-ish. .750 Proform carburetor, and I just kind of tweaked around a little bit with it, nothing much. But and like I said, dual point Mallory distributor. Yes, people, points, exactly. You can have fun with points. When I did do this, it's all dirty under here, but as you can see, I did rebuild the whole front end and whatnot. And yeah, don't criticize about my wiring, because this was just kind of thrown together at the end of it. So yeah, come on, there we go. So yeah, so like I said, I'm going to change the oil, check the fluids, grease everything, all that good stuff in a little bit, but I figured I'll show you that. Fender well headers I got from a friend, Donnie. They're actually really solid. Actually, the funny thing, when I did get it, they were missing this chunk right here. So I just cut up a set of header there and welded that in. And then some people may ask, what's the cool shrieking sound of my exhaust? Funny thing is, there's still a Clico. That's right, I forgot about that. It's just, I think they're thrush mufflers, but what makes it loud, sorry for that, is right there, cutouts. Exhaust cutouts. So yeah, not much in the exhaust system, but hey, I like it. Like I said, real cars have 4 speeds. This has a Muncie M20. So yeah. So I guess, like I said, I'm gonna go change the oil soon, check the fluids and all that stuff, and then I said whenever I get a hand to hold the camera, we'll take this thing for a boot. Either I'll recruit Ryan or I'll get the missus. She likes actually driving in this thing, so why not? So I'm just, like I said, I'm just gonna change all the fluids, get that all stuff, and then we'll take her for a burn. So stay tuned, folks. Stay tuned. Okay guys, like I said, back in the day when they built this thing, I think in the late 60s, they made some pretty crude looking hood supports there for the hood pins, but hey, it works, why not? And like I said, when I was building this car, I didn't have a lot of money, because we never have any money because we always buy more and more crap. But anyway, the master cylinder's off a 66, 67 Chevy full-size car. Hey, it was new. I just wanted to see if it worked, and it worked. All the push rod was the same, so why not? So I think when I do go to Minneapolis there in the next couple weeks there, I'm going to see about maybe getting a rad. It keeps it cool, but you know, in traffic it starts to get a little warm, so that's probably not a bad idea. And like when I built this old turd, like everything's new, bushings, ball joints, steering, everything is actually new on this thing. It may look dirty and old, but it is. Yeah, no, it's a fun old car. What I think I am going to do next week is go find some 15x7 Chevy rims, and then I'm going to get rid of the slicks and get Derek to mount these guys that I bought. So be a little bit more street friendly. Well, not really, but at least, you know, better than riding around on slicks, because these things are basically new and I don't want to wreck them. So I guess I'll go finish buttoning everything up on here, then I'll wait for Boog, or we'll see if the better half will go for a ride. She likes going for a ride in this thing, so we'll film a little drive around and that'll be it. Exciting times. Like I said, guys, this is a neat old hot rod. I call it a hot rod. It's not a gasser. I'm building one of those, but it is what it is. I like it. It's fun. Real cars have 4 speeds. Recording? There's the El Camino. There's the El Camino. I got Boog. Fuel pump on. Oh, tack is working. So I changed out the sender.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because it was always at really like 7,000.
Oh yeah. Temperature gauge isn't working.
Where oil? Oh yeah,
No,
oil.
the temperature gauge is it's a 250.
No, that doesn't work.
I know, I don't understand. It doesn't work. You got a flat tire.
Yeah, I know. I think I got a nail in it.
Oh, that's not good. Pam put a screw in her tire and fixed on Monday there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That guy's not nice. possibly a third Hellcat sitting in there. That family has a lot of money. This probably isn't going to end well here.
Hopefully we don't break anything. Remember people, like, share, subscribe.